Hello, BookTube. It's Amy with the Hag Reads here with day 3 of Spooktober. I'm enjoying myself thoroughly. So today I will talk about yesterday's picks, which were Pandora by Joshua Grant and Dark Signal, which was released in 2016. It's a Netflix movie. And then I will talk about today's picks, which I will discuss tomorrow. So, for today, the book was Pandora, which I would describe as Ghost Ship meets Resident Evil. So we have a ship that goes missing, a cruise ship with, I think it's 5,000 people on board, goes missing for a week, and then it comes back, and it transmits a single word, and that word is Pandora. And then you have a wealthy tycoon who hires a group of mercenaries, plus one doctor. The doctor is the only female character here. And, of course, one of the mercenaries has a heart of gold, so he's, that type of character. And they helicopter out to this ship at the behest of this tycoon. Plot twist, things go wrong, mayhem on the high seas. And so, kind of the highlights here, let's see, I cannot read my own handwriting. Okay, so you've got your evil business tycoon, secret shadow organization, Atlantis, Pandora, biomass monsters, and it did kind of remind me of, I can't think of the video game, but it was kind of Resident Evil-esque, in terms of the other things that aren't zombies that came in some of the later movies. It also reminded me of that one YA novel I read that was based on the original Dracula novels. It was about the Van Helsing family. The origin of their monsters was demonic, but the form of the monsters in that book reminds me of the monsters that are on the ship in Pandora. I enjoyed this very much. It was published in 2016, and it had a cliffhanger ending, so I'm pretty sure there's going to be more of these. They left it wide open, and how could you not, with the secret shadow organization working in the background? You would almost feel obligated to have more than one book in this series. But I enjoyed it. It managed to be creepy, a little bit gross. It had a tinge of romance. It gave away some things to the reader, so you knew some stuff was going on. And you were like, no, as things were happening. Which was kind of fun, actually. And then, twist. There was a twist in there. So if you like, this was, it kind of presented as atmospheric and chilly and haunted initially, but that's not really what it is. It's more like a Resident Evil science experiment gone wrong sort of thing. But I enjoyed it. So that's Pandora by Joshua Grant. I gave it 3 stars, and that is a solid 3-star rating. It was a fast, fun, entertaining read that was also kind of gross and creepy. So, and a mystery to go with it. You kind of had to figure some things out. The movie that I picked for yesterday was Dark Signal. And I talked about it a little bit on yesterday's video. So you have 2 sides to the story, or 2 simultaneous storylines that kind of are intertwined. You have a radio host, and she's an abrasive personality, has a little bit of a tragic backstory, but it's her last show, and they're switching. Part of the reason is because she's an ass, and they're pushing her out. But the reason this is also her last show for this radio station is they're switching from analog to digital. And so it's their last analog radio broadcast. And as a special treat, they're having on a psychic as their last guest. But another part of that story is that there is a single mom with a disabled child who is kind of in desperate financial straits. And so she's connected with the technician of the radio host. And then she also has kind of this other guy that she's seeing. And he asks her to put together, it's almost a murder kit, you know, duct tape and all kinds of other stuff, flashlight. And so you wonder what they're kind of up to, but they go out, and the babysitter thinks that she's going to the radio station to meet with this technician guy to be, to witness this final broadcast. But she's really going with this other guy out into the country, to this farmhouse for reasons we're not entirely sure of as she's going. And the story kind of takes off from there. And outside of these two things, there's, they show at the beginning of the movie some footage. There's a serial killer loose, and the whole thing's set in England, so just let me clarify that. There's a serial killer loose, and he's killing single women and taking their ring finger with bolt cutters. So there's all of these things going on, and then the psychic on the radio show, they have kind of an EVP phenomenon that happens. And so the storylines start to come together. And then you get of course, your twist ending. And it had some jump scares. It had kind of a haunted element. It had that creepy English countryside thing going on. I figured out most of it. Well, I figured out all of it. Except for what was going on with one of the girls that was killed kind of at the beginning of the story. That part kind of eluded me for a little while. But overall, I really enjoyed it. It was creepy. It had a serial killer. It had a mystery. It had haunted stuff. It had, kind of family drama. So I scored 2 days in a row for the books and the movies. Did I talk about the book already? Yeah, I talked about the book. We're 7 minutes in. So, I would recommend both Pandora, the book by Joshua Grant, and Dark Signal, the movie, which was released in 2016, and it is available on Netflix if you are playing along at home. So, my picks for tomorrow, my picks for day 3, which I will talk about tomorrow, day 4 of Spooktober. I'm so excited. Are going to be a little more low-key because I just finished The Stranger Beside Me. Is that what I finished? Oh boy. I just finished. I can do this. Yeah, The Stranger Beside Me by Anne Rule, which was 600 plus pages. And it took me a few days to get through that. And I'm less than 100 pages from being done with Confessions of a Sociopath. And I'm also reading Ghost Road Blues by Jonathan Mayberry, which I don't think I will finish. That's probably going to be what I finish on day 4. So, maybe day 5. It depends. So tomorrow, when I talk about my picks for today, I may also be talking about Ghost Road Blues, but it may be as far away as day 5, as the 5th. So my movie pick for today is It's the Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown, because, I gotta rock. And then I haven't picked the title. I'm just going to randomly pick one of my Goosebumps books as my book for today, because those only take me a couple hours to read. And that way I can take some of the stress of reading these huge, The Sociopath Next Door isn't a huge book. It's a little over 300 pages, but it's a nonfiction book, and I'm taking notes too because I found some of the things really, really interesting. The Stranger Beside Me just took me a long time to read, and I'll have a video on that separately as part of my I'm not counting that as part of Spooktober because that's not why I started reading it. So, yep, give myself a little bit of a slacker day. I will watch It's the Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown. Maybe I'll watch it more than once. I have been enjoying being creeped out and totally scared. Both of the movies had jump scares that, I went, because I watched them alone. My son will not participate with me, although he did. I explained to him the premise of demonic, and I think he's going to watch that because he really likes those haunted asylum jump scare twist movies. But I watched both those movies in the dark by myself, and so they both creeped me out pretty good. But I'm having pretty good luck, and I know for a fact that I'll be able to report to you that I loved It's a Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown, or It's the Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown. They always have that part with Snoopy as the Red Baron, and I really don't like that part, but that's, part of the whole thing. Snoopy was never, I was never really into Snoopy the way some people were, but, I do love It's the Great Pumpkin, and I gotta rock. And then easy reading with Goosebumps, and that'll be the end of it. If you have watched to the end, thank you so much. Happy whatever time of day it is for you. I will see you tomorrow with day 4 of Spooktober. I'm so excited. And that's it. Bye.